Hey, how's it going, families? Mr. Smith here, and as I promised, I am showing a video, or I'm creating this video to show you all at home exactly where we are headed with our kiddos. As you can see on the right here, I have the standard algorithm of multiplication, which is the way we all learned when we were in fifth grade going into middle school. And this is where we are headed this week. But I wanted to stop and show you a way which we know as a prerequisite. So this is a way that students can learn before they jump into this. Just to let you know, there are quite a few steps, so I want to walk you through it the right way so you all can support with the learning at home. So the way that I'm going to show you today is called the area model, and you may have seen it when your child was in fourth grade, and it's just a powerful skill, and I highly recommend that you utilize this at home. So our two factors are 253 times 804. And to an average fifth grader, this seems like an extremely daunting problem. So I want to teach you how to break this down at home to help build the confidence of our math students. Here we go. So the way this works is, notice we have a 3-digit number times a 3-digit number. So I'm only going to focus on 253. So I need a column for 200, a column for 50, and a column for 3. 200s, 5 10s, 3 1s. We're going to break that apart right now using what our students know, the expanded form. We're going to put each number in expanded form. So that just means we look at the value of each place that it's in. The 2's in the hundreds place, so that is 200. Plus 5 10s, we know 5 10s is just the number 50, plus 3 1s, which is the number 3. 253, 253. And because it's 3 digits, we need 3 columns for that. And the same goes for our second factor, 804. But this one's a little different. We start with the number in the ones place. So that one is the immediate row. It starts right here. So we have 3 digits. We need 3 rows. So the way it's going to look is 804. Always start with the ones place for the first row. And we have 4 ones. Now moving along, we have 0 10s. So let's say this was the number 7. I would be putting the number 70 here, but we don't. We have 0 10s, so that's 0. And then last but not least, we have 800s, so I have to write out 800. And going from the bottom up, you see 804. And then I like to add a little extra flair and put a sneaky multiplication symbol there. Because what we're doing is multiplying the number at the top of this column, which is 200, by every single digit on the left until this entire column is completed. And that's the easy part here. And we're going to do this column by column. So I'm not worried about the 50 and the 3 yet. We're looking at this column. All right, so I see 200 times 4. 200 times 4, here's a trick that I teach the students. We can do 2 times 4, which is 8, and add our 2 zeros after it. 800, 200, 400, 600, 800, or we can skip count by 200. But I find covering the zeros, multiplying the numbers first, and then adding the zeros back is a faster way for our students. Next, 200 times 0. Any number times 0 is 0. The 0 property. Our students know that. And then last in this column, 200 times 800. Remember that trick I taught you. 2 times 8 is 16. Add all the zeros back. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need all 4 zeros to come back, which is 160,000. All right, we're done in the first column. We can move on. we're going to start with this 50 and do the same thing. 50 times 4, 50 times 0, 50 times 800. And you'll get the hang of it. 50 times 4 is 200. And yes, that trick still works. Cover that 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Add that 1 0 back. 200. Next, 50 times 0, 0. And last, 50 times 800. I see 3 zeros that I'm going to cover up. And I'll do 5 times 4. 5 times 8, which is 40. And add our 3 zeros back, which is 40,000. Next, we're going to move on to the 3 or the ones column, this 3, and do the same exact thing. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 0 is 0. And then 3 times 800, 3 times 8 is 24. And I see 2 zeros, 2,400. So notice we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 partial products is what they are called. That means we have 9 parts of the actual product that we need to add together. But instead of adding all 9 numbers together, what I like to do is add them up row by row. So we'll do 800 plus 200 plus 12. Well, 800 plus 200 is 1,000. 1,000 plus 12 is 1,012. Now, this row is obviously the easiest. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. And now here, this will be a bit challenging for our students. So what I would like to do is leave some space on the bottom where they can quickly add that up. Families, when your students are adding these up, make sure they're lining them up based on the place value. The ones with the ones, the tens with the tens. And this is something that our students are still working on. So let's make sure we're supporting them at home with this. All right, let's do 160,000 plus 40,000 plus 2,400. All right, let's go column by column. 6 plus 4 is 10, 0 on the floor, 1 next door, 1 plus 1 is 2. So I got 202,400. So this is 202,400. Now, we just narrowed this down to 2 numbers that we need to add up, and then we found our answer, our product. So let's just find some space to add these up. So I have 202,400, 202,400 plus 1,012. 0 plus 2 is 2, 0 plus 1 is 1, 4 plus 0 is 0, 2 plus 1 is 3, and I'm going to bring that 20 down. 203,412. Okay, so that is our final product. So what I'm going to do is take that and write it right here. 203,412. Okay, and that is the area model. Let me zoom out a bit so I can see it all. And we know there was quite a bit of steps, but notice that there was a rhythm to it. There was a flow to it. That's what I want our students to capture. I want them to capture that rhythm and to know what to do next. And it all starts column by column by column. Take your partial products, add them up. Okay, now let me show you how all of this relates to what exactly we're going to do here. So this is, again, called the standard algorithm. This is how we all learned it. This way gives them some sense when it comes to their place value knowledge and understanding, which is so helpful when solving the standard algorithm. Here we go. So our students are going to have to start off in the ones place, and this 4 needs to multiply by each digit above. 4 times 3 is 12, 2 on the floor, 1 next door. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 1. 1 on the floor, 2 next door. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 1012. Notice that's exactly what we got in our first row. 1012. There's the first area where it connects. So now we're going to move on to the 0 in the tens place. An extra step I asked my students to do is to cross out what they already did. We multiplied this 4, and then cross out any digit you carried. That's very important. This helps our students not multiply a number they already did. It helps tremendously. So here's what I tell my students. When we move over to this tens place, we're actually multiplying by 10. 0 tens. But a 10 has 1 0 in it. So it's very important that our students are putting that 1 0 in place before they start the race. So before you start multiplying these digits, when you move over to the tens place, you must put that 1 0 in place. Now we can begin because our 0's in place. 0 times 3, 0. 0 times 5, 0. 0 times 2, 0. Notice that's exactly what we got right there. All right, crossing that off, we're moving over to the hundreds place. And the same logic applies here. When we move over to the hundreds place, we're actually multiplying 253 by 800. That's what we're doing right here. So 100 has 2 zeros in it. So we must put 2 zeros in place before we start that race. Now we can begin. 8 times 3 is 24. 4 on the floor, 2 next door. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 2 is 42. 2 on the floor, 4 next door. And then 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. And put our 20 on the floor. We got 202,400. Notice that's exactly what we got down here. So the area model, as you all just saw, is the standard algorithm. It's just broken down even more into more bite-sized pieces for our students. And now we need to do what we did with these two partial products, is we need to add these up. So let's add them up to get the final product. Normally there wouldn't be all these arrows, so sorry about that. Let's start in the ones place. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 4 is 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then notice it's just 0 and 2. So I can just bring that down. And look at our answer. 203,412. 203,412. All right. Thank you for checking this out. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please drop a comment below. Thank you.